our success. So whether you are looking at storage for your toys or a new ag building, we hope to exceed your expectations each time we serve you. We are here for every stage of your life. Build your dreams today at clearybuilding.com.
Talking Golf at TPC Wisconsin is on the air. Talking Golf is brought to you by American Family Insurance, Oak Park Place, Wild Rock Golf Club, Zimbrick European. Also, University Ridge Golf Course, Ridgetop Exteriors, Wisconsin.golf, Cleary Building Corp., and Nevada Bobs. Now from the new home of TPC Wisconsin in Madison, here are the hosts of Talking Golf. Member of the Wisconsin Golf Hall of Fame, the legendary Dennis Tiziani, longtime Madison sportscaster Paul Braun, and Wisconsin sports veteran and statewide radio host Mike Heller.
Welcome to another edition of Talking Golf at TPC Wisconsin in Madison, along with Dave McCann, our engineer, along with Mike Heller and Dennis Tiziani. I'm Paul Brown, and Mike and Dennis, they're down now to the 30 players for the 23 Tour Championship, and there's some notable guys that didn't make the list. What do you think about the final 30?
Well, there's some notable guys there that did make the list. That's the deal. Some of these guys, I know after a certain period of time, they don't put the time in, they don't do this, they don't do that. But there's a lot of young players out there that are really aggressive and want to play good, and they are good.
Mike, how do you see it?
I think there's this is the hungry time of the year, so you know it's not a major, but it has some cachet to it, and more importantly, it has cash to it.
Yeah,
there's a lot of money at stake in what's going on going forward. So Victor Hovland was fantastic over the weekend, but those who aren't in, their season is defined by 4 tournaments that precede this, and then maybe for some of them the Ryder Cup as well.
Victor Hovland, by the way, fired a 61 on his final day to lift the trophy, and afterwards he had a conversation with the people at CBS Sports.
Victor Hovland is 61, career low round. You birdie the 2 hardest holes on the golf course, 17 and 18, to get it done. We said this has to be one of the best rounds we've seen all season. Where does this for you, and how gratifying is it to get it done on this Sunday in a playoff?
Yeah, I hadn't given it much thought, but I don't think it happened too long. Definitely has to be the best round I've ever played.
You know when you can be aggressive, knowing when you can pull back. Is today a culmination?
It was more just, okay, run, and the putts went in, but it wasn't like, I mapped the whole thing out. I was just trying to make the best decision every single shot.
It certainly seemed like you couldn't make a bad decision on that back 9. You will now enter the Tour Championship in the best position you've ever been in. You haven't missed a cut this season. When you take a look at what you've been able to accomplish already, how were you able to do it, and what are you most proud of so far?
Yeah, my ball striking has just been very consistent so far this year, and obviously with my chipping around the green has improved massively. So it just makes it so that even when I'm not on my game, I can still scrap it around at even par and make it to the weekend. A little disappointed that I've had a few bad Saturdays and Sundays in some of the tournaments this year, but two wins have to make up for that.
And looking at the finals, Scotty Scheffler is number 1 heading into the next weekend. Victor Hovland is number 2. Rory is 3. Rahm is 4. Glover is 5. And Max Homa is number 6. Who are you picking to win it all?
I mean, Scotty Scheffler.
Oh, okay.
I mean, he's by far the best player. He's by far the best striker. He is at least as good a putter as anybody. So, what's there to... There's no pick there.
Okay. That's pretty distinct, isn't it, Mike?
Yeah.
And I don't know if he is as good a putter as anybody. It's been his downfall. It's been his struggle. So we'll see. If he's putting well, I would agree with Dennis. You're not going to beat him. If he's not, he opens the door.
Also on the show tonight, we're going to have Steve Stricker. In fact, he should be on here in a couple of minutes We also have Cameron Huss on. He won the State Open. He also won the Ray Fisher earlier in the year, and he finished second in the State Am. And in those 3 tournaments, that young man was 24 under par.
Where does he play? What school?
University of Wisconsin.
Oh, that boy. Now we're cooking.
Dennis, when you're listening to Victor Hovland and he's describing he's not trying to make a birdie to get closer, he's just trying to make the next right decision and the right shot, I would think that would be how you would teach players to play the game.
Yeah, that's the discipline, to try to make things happen out there, you're going downhill. You've got to get yourself in a good place. We did it a lot with Steve, the decision that he makes, you'll notice he never hits the ball long or short. It's always across from the hole. So there's a lot of thought, to go to which club to pick out of here, and then they don't deviate from that rhythm. And he's been good with that. I don't know how he does so good. He's got a swing that kind of goes over the top all the time, but he does it, and he's really strong. He's put on a lot of muscle in the last 2 years, totally different than when he was where'd he go to school? Out in Oklahoma, someplace out there.
I'm not
he
certain.
was not the best player on his team, but he became, really good out here. I mean, come on, 61.
Yeah, that's pretty good, huh?
Oh, out there. Well, you can imagine this is a tour course, much like they're playing there. You go out there, I'll put you on a green 20 feet from the hole, on every hole, and you won't shoot 61.
And we got a guy
Have you
with
seen
us.
me putt?
That's why you said it. That's why I said it.
Mike, we got a guy with us, though, on the line right now. That he's very capable of shooting that.
Well, Steve Stricker joins us on the program. And Steve, you weren't, I doubt that you were listening a moment ago, but we were listening to Victor Hovland describe his 7 birdies on the back 9 yesterday and his 61. And one of the things he was talking about, Steve, is he was just making the next right decision and the right shot. And I think we recall you doing that, and we talked to you about it when you were playing against Patty Harrington in the playoff in Texas, that you stuck to your guns and you were going to play your shot. How important does that become when you hear Victor talking about the same thing? How important is that just to pass on for golfers?
Yeah, I think that's everything, really. All you have control over is your next shot. You can't do anything about the shot you just hit. And so the best thing to do is just to put your mind forward and what do you need to do to execute the next shot, to the best ability that you can.
Yeah, and that next shot, Steve, and if I can lead you into the next part of this, that next shot is not about your scorecard. It's about what the next best decision is and how important it is to stay in that mindset to play what the next best decision is to play, right?
Yeah, for sure. You don't want to compound mistakes by making another bad mistake, and usually when you do that, that's mental mistakes start to interfere with your ability to hit the next shot. So yeah, it's a vicious cycle, right? That's why the game is tough. You got to do the correct thing with your mind, and then you got to be able to execute it physically too. So it's and what comes first, your physical ability or your mind, right? You can go around and around and around, but I watched the last 3 holes of Victor's round yesterday, and you guys just get into those rhythms where they feel like they don't even think that they're going to hit a bad shot. He's just making the proper thought. He's thinking that he's going to stuff it because he needs to make a birdie, and he's in the attack mode, and he doesn't, that's all he's thinking about. And it's amazing when you think that way, what your physical body is able to do. And so many times, that happens, and you're like, why just can't I do that all the time?
Right.
That's the funny thing about the game. Why can't you, right? So that's what makes it challenging.
Steve, when you were involved, obviously, with the selection, when you were Ryder Cup captain, and Scotty Scheffler, obviously, at the time and that kind of thing, what was it that you looked at in terms of his abilities and his personality What stood out to you in terms of helping make that selection to pick him? What is it about Scottie Scheffler?
Well, I was able to play with him at the PGA Championship in Kiowa Island earlier in 2020 when we were supposed to have the Ryder Cup. No, that was in 2021. Yeah, earlier in that year. And first of all, he's a great kid. I mean, I was more impressed with his demeanor and how he acted, how he putted. He putted unbelievable. He didn't hit it the greatest that day, but he managed his game and he scored well. And Nikki was caddying for me at the time, and we both, when we were finished, like, wow, what a great kid, what a great guy. And then just kept watching him. He was playing great all of that year, and just close to making the team, but not quite. And then, I asked the 6 guys once my point system was done. I had a dinner with my 6 guys, and I said, "Who do you like?" I'm like, so we talk about a bunch of players, and it was unanimous. They all wanted Scottie Scheffler. I wanted Scottie Scheffler, and that's how it came to be. And from that point on, after that Ryder Cup, he is just and that's typically sometimes what happens with players. They get picked for a team, and he had a great team. He played well, I should say, during that Ryder Cup. Beat, I think, Rahm in the singles day, and he's just off and running. And it just was kind of a no-brainer of a pick, and he's really taken off since.
Steve, maybe you can relate to the listeners what Zach Johnson's going through, starting with the finish of the tournament yesterday. Now the 6 are in, and he's got 6 captain selections that will happen by next Tuesday, 8 days from now. Where's he sitting in that moment right now? How can you relate to our listeners what he's going through today?
Well, I just got off the phone with Zach.
Well, there we go.
So I can tell you where his mind is. He's racing, and I actually have a call with all the assistant captains in about 45 minutes. We all are getting on a call, and we'll talk about, the 6 guys that made it, obviously, but then more importantly, who's in the running to make the next 6. And, I think that list is, probably 8, 9, maybe 10 deep, out of the next 6. And that's what'll, be hard for Zach to, make that decision. I think some of it's pretty clear to him, maybe 4 or 5 of those 6 spots, but it's always that last spot that becomes a little bit tricky. And so that's what we're going to talk about a little bit tonight. But he's excited. He's like, he said to me, he's like, I just can't believe this snuck up on us so fast. It's only a week away before he makes his pick. So, yeah, it happens in a hurry, and then all of a sudden it'll be here before we know it.
Well, you relayed to us last week that, and you just alluded to it a moment ago, that those 6 players that are already on it, they help you make these selections, right, in the next 8 days? Because you want that team to be a family. You want them to be a team. How important is that as this part of the process for Zach in the next 8 days?
Yeah, it's everything, really. I mean, he leans on, we'll get texts from all the assistant captains or Zach, last night it was, 10 o'clock, somebody throws a question out there, and then everybody starts chiming in, we're all on this big text chain. So it's, and the big thing was Brooks Koepka actually, finished outside the top 6. So now if he's going to be on the team, he's going to need a pick. So that, makes things a little bit more interesting. And so, yeah, he leans on everybody, and then he's really going to lean on those top 6 guys that have made the team. And then you start looking at pairings. I mean, it doesn't stop with just those 6. You look at pairings and, do we need more alternate shot guys? Do we need more best ball guys? Do we, need the guys that are putting the best? You can just, it can go so deep, and then we since I think 2000, I think it was one of Davis's teams, 2016 maybe. We have a stats group now that helps us come up with some of these decisions, and that's helped our side quite immensely. All the way down to the point of who should tee off on the odds and evens in the alternate shot format, and that has become. I'll tell you a quick little story if you got time.
Yeah, absolutely.
When we were over in the last Ryder Cup, when we were in Paris, Bubba Watson, I can't remember who his partner was. Bubba was supposed to hit on from the stats guys. Bubba was supposed to hit on number 2. Well, Bubba didn't like the number 2 tee shot. It was a par 3, water to the left, and he's like, I just don't feel comfortable. And the stats guys want me to play, and hit on the even holes. And I hate number 2. I think I'm going to hit it in the water. Well, what did they do? They go against the stat guys. So Bubba tees off on the odd holes. Well, they lost. They lost the alternate shot match. So they go back out. The next time I think it was Webb Simpson might have been his partner. They go back out, and now they're like, okay, well, we're going to switch this, and Bubba's now going to hit on the even holes, and he hates number 2. Well, he gets up to number 2. He does. He hates it. He hit it in the water, and but they ended up winning the match. So it's amazing. They talk about they got all the data on shot shape for the guy, where does he miss it all the time? How does he play the par 3s, and then who's putting more? I mean, they add all this into this system, and they spit out who should play together. And you got to take it with a grain of salt, obviously, but some of it really does help.
Steve, one more, and then we're going to let you go. Whether it's fair or not, in the past, some of the European teams, they would say the success they had, that maybe they cared more than the U.S. players who were more of an individual type thing. When you won it with that team and set a record for the victory, do you think that's changed the attitude? Is there a difference in the way the American player is feeling about this whole thing since the last Ryder Cup?
I really think that we've gotten a bad rap over the years. Like, we don't care. Basically we don't care. We're not good teammates. We're all out there for ourselves. And I quite honestly, since I've been around these teams, since like 2008 was my first team, and, been around ever since then. And I just feel like it's quite the opposite. I think we care sometimes too much. Yeah, I really do. It's that's why I think the President's Cup, we go in there with a little bit lighter attitude. It's a little bit more fun. So that was my goal when I was the captain, to make it a little bit more fun, a little bit lighter, no drama, stuff like that. And we're getting around to that where guys really, really want to win. And sometimes that gets in the way of your performance, right? And so it's we're all together. I tell you what, especially this group the last few years. I mean, these young guys grew up playing together. Patrick Cantley's getting married. Xander's in his wedding. Maybe the best man. It's just they're super close. JT and Jordan Spieth. I mean, they played junior golf together. All these guys. So it's just a really close-knit bunch of guys, and there's nothing more than them wanting to win this Ryder Cup over there, I know.
Steve, I know you're playing this weekend, so we back on the Champions Tour over in Michigan, so we wish you the best of luck this week. It's always great to visit with you, and we'll look forward to the next time.
All right, thanks, guys.
That's Steve Stricker, and you're listening to Talking Golf at TPC Wisconsin. We'll be back right after the break.
Hey, Drew Scott here, and I'm Jonathan Scott, reminding you that life's better with a home policy from American Family Insurance. They can help you get just the right protection at just the right price and help you save when you bundle home and auto. Kind of like Goldilocks and the Three Bears. it'll be just right for you. We love a custom build. American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Hi, I'm Sean Cleary. I'd like to take a quick 30 seconds and talk to you about the most important part of a Cleary building, the foundation. Without it, you won't be able to stand the test of time. At Cleary, our foundation is made up of some truly amazing people. Our Cleary family rises to the challenge every day, and it shows when that shamrock is applied. So if you are looking for a new challenge at our corporate office or out on the construction site, join the Cleary family today by clicking on careersatclearybuilding.com.
Oak Park Place is a proud sponsor of the Golf Effect radio show. While golfers need peace of mind to succeed on the course, Oak Park Place offers seniors and their loved ones peace of mind by providing the right balance of care centered around an active lifestyle. Hi, this is Pat Richter for Oak Park Place. Choose a senior living community with neighbors that become like family. Oak Park Place Senior Living. Locations throughout Wisconsin. Visit oakparkplace.com to learn more.
It's time to lock in your tee time at University Ridge Golf Course. Now taking reservations up to 90 days in advance for the 2023 golf season. Book at universityridge.com. Proud host of the American Family Insurance Championship, University Ridge is a course for everyone with tees ranging from 5,000 to 7,200 yards. Even if you don't have time to play, stop out and play on the free putting course or pay $20 to hit practice balls for an hour on our grass tee practice range. Play where the Badgers and the pros play in 2023.
When it comes to golf, being the best takes years of hard work, focus, and love of the game. It's no different for Ridgetop Exteriors. For over 20 years, transferring our neighbors' homes with new roofs, siding, and windows has been par for the course, and we've mastered our craft. For a free estimate, go to ridgetopexteriors.com. Affordable roofing, siding, and windows, plus award-winning customer service. Get your estimate today at ridgetopexteriors.com and let them know Ridgetop Larry sent you.
Looking for new equipment? TPC Wisconsin has a team of certified fitters that have been ranked top 100 club fitters by Golf Digest, Titleist, Ping, and Mizuno. TPC Wisconsin fitters use science, art, technology, and ball flight to determine the best equipment for your swing. To schedule your private fitting experience, contact Dylan Parisi at 608-249-1000. Learn from the best. Get better. Only at TPC Wisconsin. Back on Talking Golf at TPC Wisconsin, I'm Paul Braun, and Cameron Huss is with us. Cameron just recently, very recently, won the Wisconsin State Open, so congratulations on that, Cameron. And you also won the Ray Fisher this summer, and you were runner-up in the State Amateurs. So you've had a good summer for golf, haven't you?
Yeah, it's been a blast. Competing and playing to win has been fun, too. So.
Which one stands out, if any, in particular, as far as the victories?
I mean, the State Open so far has been my biggest win, for sure. The Ray Fisher was exciting the way it ended. Chipped in on 18 to force a playoff, and then won on the second extra hole against our assistant coach. So that was a good one, too.
How would you describe yourself as a player?
Pretty just like free playing. I've never had a formal swing coach, and so I'm kind of pretty self-taught. Played baseball and basketball growing up, too, so just kind of a natural athlete and just kind of let that take over on the golf course.
Your dad apparently had a great influence on your golf, correct?
Yeah. He never forced me to play any sports, but he kind of brought me into the game at a young age and still get to play out with him a little bit. But, yeah, as a young kid playing with him for sure.
How would you describe yourself as a player? What are your strengths?
It's usually short game and putting. I've never been a really good ball striker. So I've had my short game to rely on and been able to putt it pretty good.
And let's mention to our viewers and listeners, when you talk about your short game, I was reading your bio from the university, and you talk about your practice routine. And why don't you just explain it? And that second part of that explains what you're talking about.
Yeah, we're lucky enough here at UW. We've got a really good short game area. So I can speak for a lot of my teammates too. We do a lot of our practice up in our bowl, which is our short game area. So doing just a lot of just chipping and putting up there and playing 21 with teammates, and don't try and hit too many golf balls. I'd rather just go play golf if I'm going to hit balls.
But the routine is about 45 minutes of full swing and then 3 hours on the short game?
Yeah, if I'm going to just practice one day, it's probably a good hour or two of putting in short game, and then probably an hour of competing with teammates.
Let's talk about your career at Wisconsin. You're a senior now, but when you look back on it, what do you remember about it? What are the highlights for you in terms of your golf and the university?
Yeah, I would say so far just the highlights have been we've got a great group of guys, and we're all really good friends, and just going to compete with them tournament to tournament's been a blast so far, and looking forward to one more year doing it, and it's something I'll remember for the rest of my life for sure. And
new coach coming in, what has he brought to the program, including getting you guys to the tournament for the first time in about 15 years?
Yeah, he's been great. He just lets us play free, and he's started bringing in some guys too, and we just all feel really confident with him, and he's confident with us, which has been a good recipe, and we get along well. So,
Cameron, where do you want to go with golf? If you look down the road a little bit or into the crystal ball, how does it fit into your life in terms of what you're going to do?
Yeah, I mean, I've been playing golf now for a while, so it's something I want to do after school, and hopefully go to Q school here soon after college and try and get on the Corn Ferry Tour, and the dream's always been to go chase it on the PGA Tour. So.
And in terms of guidance and that kind of thing, anybody kind of helping you out in terms of how you should do this and your approach and those kind of things?
Yeah, I feel like we've got some guys who've graduated who are out there right now. One of my old roommates, Griffin Barella, he played Latin America this last year, and Sam Anderson's out there doing the same thing, and Jordan Hahn, and I know our coach now, Wilson, he's brought some players up who've done the same thing, so I feel like we have a good guidance there.
I was reading your bio from the UW. Your favorite golfer, Kevin Kistner. What's the story there?
Yeah, I don't know if that's changed. So that was from freshman year still, but I just like the way Kistner used to always play. He was kind of always, he's never the longest guy. Seems to always have a good wedge game, putts it really well, and he just goes out there and has fun, which is a big thing, just having fun on the golf course and playing free. So.
Who's your dream foursome?
Dream foursome right now. I think you'd have to throw Tiger in there. I'm a big Spieth fan. And if you could get like Nicholas or Palmer there in his prime, I think that'd be pretty cool.
And you've had an opportunity to play TPC Wisconsin. What's your thoughts on the golf course?
Yeah, golf course is great. It's a great test. If you're not driving it well, you're going to struggle out here. So, but yeah, the layout's really good. And it's a risk-reward golf course. Drive it well and get in and play, and you can make some birdies. But if not, you're going to be struggling for pars. So.
And when you look at your future in terms of your playing ability, what's the area, if at all, that you feel that you really have to improve on or concentrate on to grow yourself as a better player?
Yeah, I would say we use a stats program starting last year, and it's probably ball striking overall, trying to hit a couple more greens every round. And my short game and putting, like I've said, has kind of been up there stats-wise, but if I can start hitting some greens and a couple more fairways, I think that will be good.
Well, we wish you the best of luck. Congratulations. You had a wonderful summer of golf, and good luck to you and the Badgers this year.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
That's Cameron Huss. We'll be back on Talking Golf after this time out from TPC in Wisconsin at Madison.
A new year, and maybe it's time for new equipment. If yes, Nevada Bob's is the place to go. Jeff and Max are the fittest fitters around, and they can set you up from driver to putter and everything in between. And anything else golf-related, wheel and deal with Joel.
Your game, your store, always at the best price.
Life's better with an auto policy from American Family Insurance. No matter what dreams you're driving towards. That's because our expert agents will make you feel totally protected with the right auto coverage at the right price. You'll also save up to 23% when you bundle auto with home. American Family Insurance. Get a quote, find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
When you're looking for an amazing golf experience, look no further than Wild Rock Golf Club in the Wisconsin Dells. This stunning championship course offers unforgettable views from elevated tee boxes with greens that roll fast and true. Cut from the natural beauty of the Dells, Wild Rock is truly a sight to behold. Secluded and sheltered from the outside world, Wild Rock is a unique gem that offers challenges for all skill levels. Enjoy the Wild Rock experience. Do yourself a favor by booking your tee time online today at wildrockgolf.com. That's wildrockgolf.com.
Oak Park Place is a proud sponsor of the Golf Effect radio show. While golfers need peace of mind to succeed on the course, Oak Park Place offers seniors and their loved ones peace of mind by providing the right balance of care centered around an active lifestyle. Hi, this is Pat Richter for Oak Park Place. Choose a senior living community with neighbors that become like family. Oak Park Place Senior Living. Locations throughout Wisconsin. Visit oakparkplace.com to learn more.
This is Gary D'Amato, senior writer for Killarney Golf Media and Wisconsin.golf. Visit Wisconsin.golf for the latest in golf news and feature stories about people, places, and tournaments in our state. And listen to Talking Golf on TPC Wisconsin to hear me spar with Dennis Tiziani. Wisconsin.golf and Talking Golf. On the internet and on your radio dial, the voices of golf in Wisconsin.
Why drive an ordinary car when for the same monthly payment you could be driving something extraordinary? Aaron Perkins, General Manager, Zimbrick European. Imagine yourself behind the wheel of a Mercedes-Benz, Audi, or Porsche. More safety, performance, and luxury, and way more fun. And getting more costs less than you think. Zimbrick European makes leasing affordable. Discover the value for yourself. Stop in and test drive a Mercedes-Benz, Audi, or Porsche today. Visit Zimbrick European and find out why leasing the car of your dreams makes so much sense.
Your golf game need a pick-me-up? It's one-stop shopping only at Nevada Bob. Joel and his crew can equip you, dress you, teach you, and here's the best part. New or used, clubs, shoes, bags, carts, apparel, balls, you name it, and they got it. Isn't that right, Joel?
Your game, your store, always at the best price.
We're back at TPC Wisconsin in Madison, along with Mike Heller, Dennis Tiziani. I'm Paul Brown, and joining us shortly is going to be Sherri Steinhauer. Sherri had an outstanding career in golf for about 26 years on the LPGA Tour. Then she decided to take up another sport and became like a world-class pickleball player, huh?
You know, we were talking before the show started about what great athletes can do, and they can do it in all different avenues. I was talking about Joe Pavelski, hockey, and he'll be a member here, and what a great golfer he is, and talking about Sherri and what she's done from playing the game of golf and then deciding to be a pickleball player and playing at a world-class level. That's it's no surprise when great athletes decide they want to do something.
And apparently, Dennis, she's going to come back and play golf again eventually.
I hope I understand that she is. I'm happy that she's doing that. I think that having her outside of the realm of golf, especially in our area, and especially what we're doing now with young women's golf in high schools, you know, we're going to be leaning on her just a little bit, you know.
Well, you can tell her that now. She's on the line.
Well,
welcome, Sherri. How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. How are all of you doing?
We're doing really good. It's good to hear your voice. Let's talk about that. Let me go from the now, and then we'll go backwards a little bit. Talk about returning to the competitive side and more golf in your future. How's that working for you?
Oh, it's fantastic. You know, it's interesting. My equipment sponsor with pickleball, Selkirk, they sent me to the PGA show in January of this year to put on an exhibition. They set up a pickleball court in the middle of the PGA merchandising show.
Right.
So we were playing pickleball there, and it was just it brought back all the old memories of all the years that I went to the merchandising show. And when I first got there, I was so excited. I said, I'm going to run over the Ping booth. And that was my sponsor for many years on tour. And I ran into Mr. John Solheim, the CEO of Ping, and he asked me what I was doing. And I started to say, well, I'm thinking about playing golf again, and I hardly got it out. And he said, come to the factory, we'll get you set up.
There you go.
There you go.
So that was just the greatest thing, and that's what really, got me over the edge to get back into golf. I tell you what, it's crazy. I don't know what it is. It's been a love-hate relationship with that game for me, but I got to tell you, I'm having more darn fun with it again. That's all I want to do. I play every day, just practicing and all. So it's fantastic. Glad to be back at it.
Dennis, what are your memories in your association with Sherri over the years?
Well, certainly she just said, I'm playing every day. Well, that's what she did when she was a kid playing in Tacoma. They didn't have a golf range, so she played every 40 holes a day. And that's what you need to do, is to play. But, she won 2 or 3 of these British. I mean, we're talking about a major champion here. And why am I talking about Jerry Kelly and Steve Stricker and Andy North? And I'm here promoting high school women's golf, girls golf. And I got a champion right here, see? So it was great news for me. She's back on playing golf, and I can, again, be a real role model. I mean, somebody who's made it. So now all of a sudden we have 4 major champions here in our backyard. I mean, how good is that?
And you, of course, knew Manuel Delatorre very well.
Yes.
And Sherri was really involved, right,
well,
Sherri?
Yeah, he was, you asking her?
Absolutely.
Either one of you.
Well, yeah, he was a good teacher, and he had her going on stuff. And, he and I, of course, were really good friends. We were totally opposite in a lot of things. And why are you asking me those questions? When we used to do it, we used to do these seminars, and well, why are you asking me those questions? So all of a sudden it was just him and I, but there was an audience of 50 people there. Why are you asking me these questions? I said, well, people want to know. Don't believe in that. Just swing your arms. He never would dive into the real stuff, But he was really good. He's a good friend, and miss him, but he really helped Sherri along the way. I
agree. You guys are probably, obviously completely different in your teachings, but nobody's, obviously you're an incredible teacher with what you've done with Steve and others and all. And I just had this simple mind. I couldn't think a lot about things. And that's what Manuel did for me.
We'll get you going again.
He just kept it real simple.
We'll get you going again. We'll get you going again.
Yeah.
You'll get down.
Sherri, Dennis says a lot, and I'm sure that I'm curious as to your thoughts on this. Is that when we talk about coaching, Dennis always says, "It's not the coach. It is the player. It is you." Right. And how much do you buy into that? Certainly, there are guides and they can help you realize certain things, but it still is about what you do when you put the ball on the tee for 18 holes and how you can get it done.
I think it's, for me, what it comes down to is being able to perform under pressure, right. whatever that is. So, for example, I went to a teacher out in Fresno, California. And I probably had never hit the ball more solid, working the ball left to right to left, just pure solid. Once the gun went off, I shot 81.
Yeah.
So for me, if I can find the right person to tell me something that's going to work under pressure.
Okay, now you're cooking.
And I'll tell you what my barometer was. I never knew if it was going to work under pressure. And I would always come home and go, Dad, let's go out. Let's go out on the course. I got to show you this. I got to see if it's going to work, because there was nobody I wanted to hit better golf shots for than my dad. And I knew if I could swing, whatever the swing thought was at that time, if I could do that in front of my dad, I knew it was going to work in a golf tournament.
That's
under pressure.
That's awesome. I'm also curious how you took the being comfortable in pressure situations, or as Dennis has always said, being comfortable, being uncomfortable, how that translated into your pickleball world, because it's not the same sport at all, but were there translations that you could take from one to the other?
Probably more with pickleball, probably the mental side, and because pickleball is such a fast sport that points are going over and over, and you're making mistakes, but you got to be able to let it go and be ready to play again the next point pretty quickly, because it's going so fast. So I'd say the most that I took away from golf was probably more the mental side of the game.
Well, pickleball's got to be, it's more reactionary.
Yeah, reaction, right?
That's what it is. And, of course, she was an athlete. She can do that. Yeah. But we'll get going. The business of this mental stuff, we went through that with Steve, now Mario, same stuff.
Yeah.
Now I got 2 daughters, the same thing. So we've got some real good thoughts and thought patterns for them where they can relate to. Yeah. And it works.
Yeah.
And so that... go ahead, honey.
I was just going to say, Dennis, what I admire just as incredible to me is how Steve plays so well day in and day out.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
And
well, you guys are the same, but you guys come from the same kind of, that's all he did was play golf. And when we got to talking about the physics part of the game, he'd always give me the timeout. Mario the same way, he'd give me the timeout. So I had to figure a different way how we presented things to them, and they would not be able to argue on a fact. I mean, a line is straight and a circle is round. You can't argue against that. And when we talked about putting, do you believe that your shoulder line? Do you believe that shoulders make the plane? Well, yeah, I don't. Well, don't you believe then that the plane that you got for putting is that line? Why wouldn't your shoulders be in that same plane? Do you believe that so you ask these, all of a sudden then he calls me up a couple of weeks, I hit on something. I hit on his idea. Then he would say, but we talked about that 20 years ago. I said, whatever,
Sherri, we want to talk a little bit. About women's golf. We're chatting with Sherri Steinhauer, but a quick question. You had great success in golf. You had it in pickleball. Is the passion still, in your situation, golf?
Oh, no doubt.
Oh, good. Absolutely. Oh, good. I was hoping you'd say that.
there's no question. I played in a tournament a few weeks ago, and I think, at this point in my life, golf is now, it's fun, and, it's not after taking the big long break, I'm working on a lot of things, and I'm really enjoying working on it and all, but it's not life or death. It's just fun at this point. And to see my old cohorts and to go out there and have fun with them is, it's just great. I have a tournament coming up. It's a team event, the BJ's Charity Classic, early September. It's just a fun event. It's a team deal. And I didn't even try to find my partner because I just had hip replacement surgery, and I really didn't want to put anyone. I don't know. I didn't ask anyone, and I said, just go ahead and put me with whoever. And I don't know what happened. Hollis Stacy needed a partner, and
oh boy,
what was funny is we were locker mates a lot of times on the tour, and we still laugh about it to this day because. If I saw that we had to share a locker and Hollis was my locker mate, I'd go, oh boy, and I'd open the locker real slowly. And it didn't matter; everything would come flying out. And I would say, well, I guess I'm working out of my car again.
That's good. That's good.
Now you get to do it again. That's fantastic.
Well, we could talk for the rest of the hour, but we're going to have to let you go, and hopefully you'll come back and sometime in the future and talk about women's golf with us.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Right, thanks for having me, and I can't wait to go play TPC Wisconsin.
Yeah, you'll like it.
Yeah, please come on out. It's great to hear your voice, and I'm glad that you're enjoying playing this game again.
Take care.
Oh, I appreciate it.
Okay,
thanks, all.
Thanks, Sherri.
That's Sherri. We'll be back right after this time out. We're at TPC in Madison.
Life's better with a home policy from American Family Insurance because you'll feel protected no matter how the wind blows. All so you can keep enjoying the home of your dreams. And our expert agents can help you save up to 23% when you bundle home with auto. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. American Family Insurance. Get a quote? Find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
TPC Wisconsin houses a world-class golf instruction, coaching, and club fitting experience. Golfers have year-round access to our award-winning coaches and club fitters, state-of-the-art technologies, and PGA Tour quality facilities. If you'd like to learn more about junior and women's golf, private instruction, group coaching, or business clinics, please contact Travis Becker at tbecker@tpcwisconsin.com. Learn from the best. Get better only at TPC Wisconsin.
When you're looking for an amazing golf experience, look no further than Wild Rock Golf Club in the Wisconsin Dells. This stunning championship course offers unforgettable views from elevated tee boxes with greens that roll fast and true. Cut from the natural beauty of the Dells, Wild Rock is truly a sight to behold. Secluded and sheltered from the outside world, Wild Rock is a unique gem that offers challenges for all skill levels. Enjoy the Wild Rock experience. Do yourself a favor by booking your tee time online today at wildrockgolf.com. That's wildrockgolf.com.
When it comes to golf, being the best takes years of hard work, focus, and love of the game. It's no different for Ridgetop Exteriors. For over 20 years, transferring our neighbors' homes with new roofs, siding, and windows has been par for the course, and we've mastered our craft. For a free estimate, go to ridgetopexteriors.com.
Alrighty.
Affordable roofing, siding, and windows, plus award-winning customer service. Get your estimate today at ridgetopexteriors.com and let them know Ridgetop Larry sent you.
Ugh. Jim, what are you hitting?
Titleist 4.
Well, I got a top flight and a Callaway, but no Titleist.
Dude, I've already lost 3.
Maybe you should work on your swing.
I don't want to hear it.
Are you tired of duffing your drive? Then Clary Building has the answer for you. Hi, I'm Sean Clary. Whether you are building something for your business or storage for your toys, we can always add a little indoor driving range. Let us keep you in the fairway. Visit clarybuilding.com today.
This is Gary D'Amato, senior writer for Killarney Golf Media and Wisconsin.golf. Visit Wisconsin.golf for the latest in golf news and feature stories about people, places, and tournaments in our state. And listen to Talking Golf on TPC Wisconsin to hear me spar with Dennis Tiziani. Wisconsin.golf and Talking Golf on the internet and on your radio dial, the voices of golf in Wisconsin.
Back with you on Talking Golf. I'm Mike Heller, and we get to visit with Travis Becker. He's the director of golf at TPC Wisconsin, and our weekly conversation about taking it to the lesson tee. Well, let's make this one just a little bit more interesting in that regard, because the lesson tee is different than a playing lesson, and we talk about teaching at the range is different than taking some of those elements to the golf course. What's the most significant difference teaching over at the Learning Center as opposed to teaching on the golf course?
I think teaching on the golf range is a great place to work on technique.
Yeah.
It's a great place for block practice where there's no trouble. There's a flat lie, a good lie every time, so we can work on swing positions and get the fundamentals correct. Taking the student to the golf course is a totally different game. We can't be thinking so much about technique out there. Instead, we got to be thinking about where do we want to hit the ball? What kind of shot do we want to play?
So when we've had this conversation before, when we're talking about working over on the practice tee at the range, it is about building blocks, fundamentals, getting the club on the right path, taking it away, talking about club face at impact, circles and lines and some of those elements to make it feel right. There's a difference when you leave there, and I'm pointing at the range, and you go here to the first tee. How much of that is above the neck and between the ears?
A lot of it. So that's where, even on the range, you can work on your process. You know, it's always left brain up there, and you're thinking of getting the club in the right positions or moving your body the right way. However, at the end of your practice session, you should be practicing skill fundamentals, meaning playing games with yourself, putting a little pressure, going through your routine. So when you do get to the golf course, I can switch modes right into that process mode and get out of the technical mode.
And part of that technical mode, as we've worked together too, is routine. Because once you get to your pre-shot routine, there's a point where you shut it off and you let the athlete inside of you, and there's an athlete inside of all of them, everybody that plays this game, to let the athlete play.
Correct. And again, so getting good feels when you get to the golf course, getting good thoughts when you get to the golf course, so you can trust what you're going to do and clear your mind. And like you said, be an athlete, be athletic, make a good swing in balance with the right amount of speed.
Now, how often when you're working with somebody over at the practice tee and on the range, all of you mentioned it earlier, all the lies over there are good. You and I were working a couple of weeks ago, and you threw a ball down and you had it in the back of a divot, and I started to pull it out, and he said, no, leave it in there. How much of that is important to the learning process? Because the ball on the practice tee always sits on a good lie, doesn't, and how much of that is integrated in what you want them to learn?
Sure. I love taking my students on the golf course for situational things just like that. What happens if the ball is above my feet? Mm-hmm. Is it gonna? If I'm a right-handed player, it's gonna go more to the left. So where do I aim? If I'm in the rough, what's gonna happen to the club face when it makes contact with that rough? Is it gonna close? So how do I set up differently there? So going to the golf course is fantastic. I love doing my lessons out there. If I could do 75% of my lessons on the golf course, that would be ideal.
So let's give a couple of fundamentals. So if you're standing you're playing around a golf and the ball is below your feet, let's talk about, we're going to ignore Paul Brown here for a moment. He's left-handed. We're talking about all right-handed golfers. The ball's below your feet. It's going to go to your right.
Correct. It'll follow the slope.
Right?
It'll follow the slope.
So how do you go ahead and put that in your mind? It's an aiming point, right? It doesn't always happen that way, right? But the basic fundamental of it is that it'll go the direction that's higher or lower, the ball will go that direction.
Correct. Yep, it'll follow the slope of the hill. So there's some setup changes you need to make. When it's above your feet, you need to grip down on the club a little bit because the ball's closer to you. It's also going to want to go to the left when it's an uphill lie.
Yeah.
Now you've added loft to your golf club, so you're probably going to hit it 1 or 2 clubs short depending on the slope of the hill. If it's a downhill lie, you're going to hit it 1 to 2 clubs longer. So you're going through these situations with the student and having them hit multiple shots, because usually you don't practice those. So when it shows up and it's game time, at least you have an idea of what's going to happen.
Yeah, and I'm always curious out there is when you have that opportunity at the practice tee, is off the edges. I don't know if I should endorse this, but off the edges there are little uphill and downhills to drop a ball or two in the rough on an uphill or downhill to see what that feels like, because otherwise you're only doing it once out here unless you take a mulligan to see how that plays.
Correct. It's if you have the opportunity in the practice facility that you use allows that, I would say take advantage of it and don't hit every shot from a perfectly flat lie.
Yeah, and one other note that I wanted to ask about, because people get confused and don't know exactly what to do. If I understand uphill and downhill side hill lies, right? But what about when you're hitting on a downhill slope that is towards the green or hitting on an uphill slope that is toward the green? What changes then?
Well, definitely uphill and downhill, you're dealing directly with the loft of the shot, the trajectory. So you're making those adjustments in the club selection. Another real good pointer is to make sure your spine or your shoulders matches the tilt of the slope. That's going to help you find the correct bottom and make good contact versus hitting the ground first or hitting the top half of the golf ball.
Back in your stance, up in your stance, or is that
usually it's more middle, but it could be situational, just so you're getting the club on the golf ball first.
Yeah, and all of this is available with the lesson programs, and you don't have to be a TPC Wisconsin member. TPCWisconsin.com. Travis, you and your staff can help all of our listeners out, whether it's on the practice tee to work on the game or club fitting, all of those elements.
Correct. We're here to help people play better golf. That's our number one goal. But yes, we can, whether it's instruction you're looking for or the right set of golf clubs, we're here to help.
Very good. Travis Becker, he is the director of golf at TPC Wisconsin, and we continue on Talking Golf in a couple of minutes at TPC Wisconsin.
Your golf game need a pick-me-up? It's one-stop shopping only at Nevada Bob. Joel and his crew can equip you, dress you, teach you, and here's the best part. New or used, clubs, shoes, bags, carts, apparel, balls, you name it, and they got it. Isn't that right, Joel?
Your game, your store, always at the best price.
Hey, Drew Scott here, and I'm Jonathan Scott, reminding you that life's better with a home policy from American Family Insurance. They can help you get just the right protection at just the right price and help you save when you bundle home and auto. Kind of like Goldilocks and the Three Bears. It'll be just right for you. We love a custom build. American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Oak Park Place is a proud sponsor of the Golf Effect radio show. While golfers need peace of mind to succeed on the course, Oak Park Place offers seniors and their loved ones peace of mind by providing the right balance of care centered around an active lifestyle. Hi, this is Pat Richter for Oak Park Place. Choose a senior living community with neighbors that become like family. Oak Park Place Senior Living. Locations throughout Wisconsin. Visit oakparkplace.com to learn more.
Why drive an ordinary car when for the same monthly payment you could be driving something extraordinary? Aaron Perkins, General Manager, Zimbrick European. Imagine yourself behind the wheel of a Mercedes-Benz, Audi, or Porsche. More safety, performance, and luxury, and way more fun. And getting more costs less than you think. Zimbrick European makes leasing affordable. Discover the value for yourself. Stop in and test drive a Mercedes-Benz, Audi, or Porsche today. Visit Zimbrick European and find out why leasing the car of your dreams makes so much sense.
It's time to lock in your tee time at University Ridge Golf Course. Now taking reservations up to 90 days in advance for the 2023 golf season. Book at universityridge.com. Proud host of the American Family Insurance Championship, University Ridge is a course for everyone with tees ranging from 5,000 to 7,200 yards. Even if you don't have time to play, stop out and play on the free putting course or pay $20 to hit practice balls for an hour on our grass tee practice range. Play where the Badgers and the pros play in 2023.
Welcome back. We are live at Luke and Anna's garage. Sean, what are we looking at here?
Well, Phil, Anna has taken over the garage with her candle business and left no room for lawn care storage. It looks like Luke has a 5-iron. No, make that a 4-iron to knock down the weeds around the house.
Great call, Sean. I don't think that 5-iron would have gotten it done.
It's a story as old as time, Phil. You gotta have the right tools for the job, and if you don't have a place to store the tools, then you should probably visit clearybuilding.com today.
A new year, and maybe it's time for new equipment. If yes, Nevada Bob's is the place to go. Jeff and Max are the fittest fitters around, and they can set you up from driver to putter and everything in between. And anything else golf-related, wheel and deal with Joel.
Your game, your store, always at the best price.
Golf at TPC Wisconsin, along with Mike Heller, Dennis Tiziani. I'm Paul Braun. How'd the Tiziani Challenge go last weekend?
Well, you know, they're terrible.
Who's they?
No, there were surprisingly how many birdies and stuff they made. Net birdies, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I followed them around, 2-5-some, so I was able to critique to see, should I play next week?
What'd you figure out?
Well, now, you know, I can play. I'm an 8 handicap now, so it's going to be... I'm really going to kick their butt. But they already got people signing up for that, and they really did good. It's surprising how good they played, from where they played from. It was really cool. So I'm going to...
You going to challenge them or change the rules or anything like that, or
both.
Put some money in there?
A little both.
Both.
A little both.
I'll put some money in. Yeah, I'm going to put some added money this time in. But we got to challenge them. I may not play every hole, but, you know, I mean... pick the easiest ones, and then I get a stroke, right?
Well, we should legitimately mention you are getting to be a little older, and you got a lot of arthritis in your hands, don't you?
Yeah.
Seriously, so you can't.
Well, that's it. The grip in it is the hard part.
Yeah.
You know, I'd like to get out there and to do it, but it's hard to hold on to it. But I'm getting better now. We got bigger grips.
Do you?
So we can, we can hold on to. And I got him. McCann told me about him.
Oh, did he?
So I got him.
That's our engineer.
You start taking advice from him, you're in trouble.
I was hoping you'd say that.
Yeah. Big trouble.
Well, good luck in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be fun.
And we're almost out of time. By the way, there's still some passes left for Wild Rock. Just go to TPC Wisconsin, click on the golf link, go to the Golf Effect website page, and on the bottom under Donate, you can buy the passes. They're $60, including golf car. Play Monday through Thursday. You pay PayPal on the site, and the passes are sent to you from TPC Wisconsin. So put together a foursome or maybe a group of 8 and go on up and play. It's a great golf course. Guys, we're out of time.
Yeah.
For Dave McCann, along with Mike Heller, Dennis Tiziani, I'm Paul Braun. Thank you for listening, and that's another edition of Talking Golf at TPC, Wisconsin, here in Madison. Have a good week.
Very good, boy.